All right, good afternoon, everybody. Nice to see you all. Well, no additional pressure, I'll say. I do think that the negotiators understand the stakes involved here. And the negotiators are certainly feeling the pressure of the president and our P5+1 partners to reach an agreement that reflects the principles that were agreed to in Lausanne back in the first week of April. That is what we have said all along will be necessary to complete these talks and to complete a final agreement. I think that's one reason that I think that's probably the most interesting thing about the letter, is the letter essentially lays out the kind of criteria that is broadly consistent with the framework that was announced back in April. And the president was crystal clear that the only kind of final agreement we would reach is one that fulfills the principles that had previously been agreed to. So
you see it as being consistent rather than raising a red flag about?
Yeah, and I think that's that reflects my reading of the letter. Specifically, how many Americans are being held hostage overseas, and her answer was, at this point, we have acknowledged that June 30th is a deadline. It's still a deadline that we're operating against. I certainly would rule out the possibility that, much like what happened earlier this spring, that these are negotiations that could spill over the deadline by a couple of days. But at this point, we're not planning any sort of longer-term extension.
Strength.
Oh, certainly it concerns us. I mean, any move by ISIL to take or to retake territory is of concern. I mean, we know that ground matters to this group. But I think we also need to have a little sense of perspective here. I mean, these reports of them attempting to retake Kobani are pretty fresh, pretty new. They are not in control of Kobani, and Kobani remains well defended.